Hello everyone and welcome back. Hope we're having a great day and we're all doing well. Just want to quickly say, if you haven't already subscribed, then be sure to do so. I'm trying to hit 100k by the end of the year. It's a massive milestone, so if I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna need everyone's support, and you can always unsub in the future if you don't end up liking my content. So as we're nearing the reveal of Operation Dread Factor, which is said to be one of the most lore heavy seasons of Rainbow Six Siege, and Ubisoft are clearly doubling down on the lore in Rainbow Six Siege, especially with them saying that the season 4 map, which is set in Portugal, is gonna introduce a new way to tell stories to players, and I cannot wait about that. I have a theory for that, but I'm going to save that for another video. So I thought we should take a look at Deimos as a character, being the main antagonist of the game, and looking at his entire plan from start to where it currently is and how he orchestrated it, because there are so many little hints along the way which I didn't even pick up on, and I'm sure you guys probably didn't either, and it is really interesting to see his plan fold out over time. So Deimos is an ex-Rainbow operative. To what extent we don't know, if he was a leader, if he was simply just an operator, but one thing that we do know is he is fed up with Harry. He doesn't like how he's running Team Rainbow. In his words, Harry turned Rainbow into the fucking ice capades, and it's clear that Deimos has some bad blood with Team Rainbow because his main goal now is to eliminate the operators. So where does it seem like Deimos' plan originally started? He seemingly knew that Rainbow and Nighthaven were working together. He probably learned this from the publicly hosted stadium events which Harry was doing, and is one of the reasons why Deimos seen Harry as a joke, and Team Rainbow in turn. And so we had Team Rainbow and Nighthaven working together until they eventually didn't and broke apart. As far as I'm aware, Team Rainbow and Nighthaven breaking apart from each other had nothing to do with Deimos. That was purely down to the relationship of the operators themselves, and once again can sort of be blamed on Harry because he was the one who introduced Nighthaven to Team Rainbow, and again that's probably why Deimos has more issues with him as well, because as much as I do like Harry and Nighthaven, he introduced a private military organization into Team Rainbow and ended up with a net loss of operators. But Rainbow and Nighthaven go their separate ways, and each side just gets on with what they were doing before. Deimos is still seemingly sitting in the sidelines, but is gathering information and is going to start doing some stuff soon. Harry, on the other hand, separates Team Rainbow into 4 separate squads and promotes 4 different operators to lead each squad. One of these operators, who now is known as Captain Habana, is the leader of the viperstrike squad. During this time, she sends a note to Harry saying the following: if we want to connect with the world, we should find suitable partners in different fields. Yahata Data Security is a candidate that comes to mind, with everything being online these days. I know someone close to Yahata Security, let me know if you want to make contact. And it seems like this time as well, with whatever sources that Harry had, managed to obtain a scan of Azami's passport, seemingly going to act on the information which Habana provided, because Habana's source at Yahata Security is Azami. But coincidentally at this time, Azami and Yahata, who is the CEO of Yahata Data Security, are scrolling through a market in Japan and they get jumped by a group of assassins. Despite Azami putting up a good fight, she failed to protect Yahata and he died in her arms. Azami retrieved one of the bullet casings found on the scene. I would take it to her ex-police colleague friend Habana in hopes of getting revenge and seeing if Habana, and in turn I guess Team Rainbow, could help her. However, this is when Habana looks at the bullet casing and realizes this is developed by the QCR department in Nighthaven. This is the department led by Osa. So somehow during this time, Deimos learned that Rainbow were potentially going to go into partnership with Yahata Data Security, and so he managed to steal Nighthaven gear, provide it to these assassins, and paid these assassins to take out Yahata, and seemingly knew that Habana had a link to Yahata Data Security and knew that someone would go looking. How on earth did Deimos know this information, which was on a handwritten note in Harry's board? He knows a bit too much. And so Deimos' plan worked perfectly. He stole Nighthaven gear, set them up for this assassination, and got Rainbow hot on their case. And not long after this, Deimos will make his first attempt on the life of some Rainbow operatives. To investigate Nighthaven's potential involvement in this assassination, the viperstrike leader Habana, joined by her friend Azami, will fly Thermite and Jackal, also 2 members of viperstrike, out to Japan to help them in their investigation. Jackal will use his footprint scanner to track where the remaining assassins fled to. This is where we learn that these assassins received an encrypted message for an assassination job and received weapons, intel, and a lot of money. But not only that, they were told to stay put in this building, and it turns out this was a trap. These low-level assassins which were paid were just bait to bring these operators into this building and be killed by an attack helicopter which will start gunning down the building. Luckily, Azami used her Kiba barriers to block the bullets and allow our operators to escape, but this will be our operators' first interaction with Deimos, and they seemingly don't even know that because their suspicions are hot on Nighthaven, but then they start focusing all their attention on allowing Deimos to get away with this and start planning his next attack. And I'm sure a lot of you guys know the story after this. Rainbow start putting in a lot of their efforts into tracking down Nighthaven and finding out if they'd done it, wasting their time and burning a lot of bridges with operators, starting conflicts between Nook, who is a Rainbow operative, and Grim, who is a Nighthaven operative, and this entire time both sides are innocent, and it was Deimos the whole time, but he's got Rainbow to focus their efforts on Nighthaven, and Nighthaven to sort of focus their efforts on Rainbow. But Deimos will seemingly back off for the time being, considering that he failed to assassinate these operators, and would go back to waiting into the background to gather more information. Over this time, however, it seems like Nighthaven will learn that their gear was stolen, and Rainbow will also learn this in their own way. The ghosteyes squad will confront Nighthaven to tell them to stay out of it. They know they're not the enemy, but they don't want a private military organization running around starting a war over this, and they should leave it to Team Rainbow. So with Rainbow now learning that Nighthaven weren't involved, their gear has been stolen, all they see it as is that the gear has been stolen, sold on, and just some low-level crooks have been using them. Rainbow now see their job as to extract the Nighthaven gear and take it out of the hands of these bad guys, and it isn't anything deeper than Nighthaven gear being stolen and sold on. But it turns out that this was once again bait. This random gang of mercenaries bought this gear and were seemingly set up by Deimos to be bait once again. This gang of mercenaries definitely didn't know that Rainbow were on their tail, and to them, they just assumed that they were buying this gear from this unknown seller, and this was the location where they were meant to meet. However, we know this wasn't the case. After these gang members were defeated by our Rainbow operatives, there was a bomb planted in the building, and this resulted in Thermite, Kavera, Sledge, and Zofia being injured, and Ash being placed in a coma. This time, Deimos' bait worked, and he used it to strike Harry. He finally revealed himself from the shadows, his true intentions, and eliminated Harry on the spot. It was now time for Deimos to get his hands dirty, rather than always orchestrating everything from the shadows. And to the point of Harry's death, that is how Deimos successfully sat in the background and would exploit the relationship between Rainbow and Nighthaven, use many of these mercenary gangs such as the Japanese assassins and these bikers to be nothing more than human bait to allow Deimos to eliminate the Rainbow operatives. He may have failed in Japan, but he succeeded this time. And of course, after Deimos has revealed himself, Rainbow would be hot on his tail after Harry's death. The viperstrike squad will successfully put a tracker on one of his planes, which will lead them to a compound in Brazil. Turns out that this compound was once again rigged with explosives. So every single time Team Rainbow has went to take a lead onto Deimos, he's been one step ahead. He failed to eliminate them in Japan, but he was very close. Luckily, it was Azami's Kiba barriers which saved our operators. He was successful when he faced off against Ghosteyes and Redhammer, but luckily this time our operators were saved by the brand new Swedish operator who seems to have links with Deimos, but at this current point of upload, we don't know anything about them, and we're yet to see what Deimos' next move is going to be. But Deimos has been one step ahead this entire time, so hopefully this new Swedish operator helps turn the tides. It seems like wherever our operators go, Deimos has a plan, he has it rigged, he has it set up for them to be killed. So wherever our operators go next, they gotta watch where they're going. But yeah, that is what Deimos' master plan has been this whole time, how he enacted it, and how it played out for us as the viewers. I did think this was very interesting. I thought they'd done a really good job of this, setting up Nighthaven as the false villain when it turns out Nighthaven were innocent the whole time. And I think it will show us that Rainbow and Nighthaven are stronger together, and Deimos is going to prove that. And not to sound cliche, but when they all do put aside their differences and work together, they can defeat the common enemy. But at this current point in time, I think Deimos is an extremely well written villain considering how little we've technically already seen of him. He used the relationships of the operators, which is one of the biggest parts of the story itself, and has used that to his advantage to get the upper hand over Team Rainbow and Nighthaven. But it should be said, how does Deimos know so much about what Team Rainbow are doing? How did he know about the note from Habana to Harry about Yahata data security? How did he manage to steal gear from Nighthaven's base? How did he manage to sneak into Harry's house and get the upper hand on him? And most recently, how did he know our operators were traveling to the compound in Brazil? It seems that no matter how smart our operators are, he will always be one step ahead, so hopefully the brand new Swedish operator puts a change to that. So I am beyond excited for Operation Dread Factor, and interested to see where the lore is going to take us. So if you want to see more Rainbow Six lore, be sure to subscribe and stay tuned for more. Show me your thoughts in the comment section below, drop a like on this video if you did enjoy, dislike it if you did not, subscribe if you're new, and I shall catch you all later. I love you all, stay safe, peace.